Hey, welcome back. I hope everyone's having a good day, and let's get right into this trade breakdown. So it's currently 1:29 p.m. Friday, July 29th, 2022, and yeah, I was actually in NAS shorts earlier on, and I'm going to go ahead and break down the reasons for taking that trade. So we're just going to start from the higher time frame and make our way down. On the weekly time frame, you can tell that we're liquidating a lot of lows over here, right? We're taking out the structural level, putting price in overall bearish type of momentum. Now we do have this level here that this is just going to be for the future for anyone watching this video, that I'm waiting to see what happens at this specific level over here. If price breaks this level, then I think NAS100 has more room to the upside, right? Potentially to clear out the imbalance that lies over here. Weekly right over here. So if price were to take out this level here, we can probably just expect price to come back, fill in the imbalance that it leaves over here, right? And this imbalance isn't solidified yet, but let's just call it a future imbalance. If this bullish candle here were to close all the way up there, then naturally you'd have an imbalance based upon the third candle that we're getting. So if price were to break above this level here, I'd just be expecting price to come back, fill this imbalance, and potentially keep going to the upside, grab the liquidity from here, and we'll see what happens from there. But realistically, if we're expecting a lot like higher prices, like really high prices, then we'd be looking for this OB all the way up here. A very, very nice level to have for the future. And I like this style of a video more, where I just potentially show what I'm looking at in the future. Let me know if you guys want more of this or like less of this. But as I break down the trade, I'm also going to break down pretty much current price and what I'm expecting going into the new week. But this would not be actually bad to expect price to, if price were to break this level, to then expect price to just come down, grab this, proceed to go up. We'll see what happens here. Potentially some small reaction, go up here, give us a nice little distribution in here, and then potentially go down. We don't know, we're more just focused on this high. I want to see what happens on this high. So from here we're going to go down to the daily time frame. Daily time frame, and notice on the break on the daily how we're having a lot of bullish breaks to the upside, and we'll also notice how we left this level here. So this would be a potential level of interest for the future as well. And obviously this level that lies down here. Now we don't mark off every single zone that we see just to maintain like relatively clean charts, but I understand that just having this line over here, and this was I think my overall RR, so we can delete this alert and set one up here that just tells us that price is in 50% of the imbalance approaching the OB. Be wonderful. So this is just what the workflow looks like, right? To expect price to keep going up, or price could just come down here, take the breaker block on a lower time frame over here, and just proceed to go up from there. But that's what we're looking like. So anyway, to go into this trade breakdown, we noticed that on the daily time frame, price is approaching this supply level over here. Now I'm calling this a supply level because you can just tell based on the wick that we left behind that there's an order block in here. Now I proceeded to go down towards lower time frames to find out where the actual order block is. Now I recommend you watch my YouTube video. This is not just like a shameless plug, it's more like I think I really did cover a lot of the concepts behind order blocks, why they work. So it'd be really beneficial if you guys check that out as well, so you can understand why I'm choosing this specific candle and why it matters pretty much. So you also notice the imbalance that we have over here. As price started to approach the order block, we started looking to see what's going to happen. Market closed around this time. Market proceeded to open and left behind a vacuum block. This is just a gap within the market. Notice how we left this right over here. Price came up into the vacuum block, actually had a entry confirmation within here, took the trade and actually lost this trade. So I ended up with a -1R over here. And this is just going into transparency, just to show you guys what, not everyone likes to show. So I was involved in this trade before and took a -1 over here. So all fine. Just keep in mind that I did lose a trade over here. And we waited for a structure to form. Now, as structure formed, we ended up breaking below this low here and below this low here. So this just shows me that we're starting to have a shift in the overall market dynamic. Sorry, I was getting some text messages. So we noticed that we're starting to get a shift in overall market dynamic. And we have this nice little order block based on the 26 minute. Now, as price enters this order block, I like to look for my lower time frame to see if we're finding any potential wyckoff or if there's anything going on. So we ended up having a wyckoff distribution schematic play out right over here at UTAD. So this is distribution schematic number 2. Since we actually didn't have like 2 raids on highs, we only had a UTAD, not a UT and a UTAD, which is just an up thrust and an up thrust after distribution. So notice how price went beneath our sign of weakness over here, confirming this overall schematic. First potential entry you could have taken was up here upon the test. So we wait. Wonderful. So looking at this from the 15-second time frame, notice how price went all the way up, gave us that test that we were talking about for the first potential entry. This all comes down to preference and how many confirmations you want leading up to a trade. But personally, I tend to want a good amount of confirmations before going in, just so you can get better risk to reward, and just so you can be more certain that the position is actually going to play out and that you're on the right side of the market. Now 15-second, notice how we left behind this nice little order block and all of this imbalance over here, and we took out the low. So looking at this structurally, this would be the swing high and this would be the swing low. Now as price took out that low, I actually, for fun, just to show you guys the overall market fractality and how liquidity is actually provided, I showed you guys a 5-second Wyckoff accumulation schematic. Now yes, we're looking to sell, but you can still notice that we're using this liquidity, right? We're engineering liquidity all the way down here to use that to go all the way up here. So that's what's going on here within the 5-second Wyckoff accumulation that we have. Now, if this were, a higher time frame where the risk reward makes sense, then one could get involved in longs, take it up here, and get a 1 to 6 and then proceed to take it down for a 1 to whatever you get. But that's just not the case here. But notice how we did have this accumulation go on. Look at all the liquidity here, relatively equal lows that we're expecting to get swept, something like this. Okay, now price is running. What time is this? Okay. Okay, so as price approaches our 15-second POI, I then go down to the 1-second time frame to see if we can once again get one more distribution schematic before going in. Now we have our preliminary supply by Climax, ARST, SOW. Sorry, let me actually say what these things mean. But it's not so much about the labeling, it's more that the highs are getting liquidated. That's all Wyckoff is, right? The labeling does not really matter. Now, I do this just to show you guys what it looks like, but in actuality, if it's just me in the chart, I actually had to go back and mark this up, because if it's just me in the chart, you can already see all this happening. But we have our preliminary supply going up into our buyer's climax, our automatic reaction, our secondary test, our overall sign of weakness that went below the automatic reaction, proceeded to go up to our upthrust after distribution, not giving us a necessary just an upthrust. Price goes down, comes up, and presumably we're just waiting for the break of the sign of weakness. Okay, sign of weakness just got broken, and we're starting to look to get involved. Let's check this out on a 5-second time frame. Now, notice how price just broke beneath the structural level here as well, and I actually found a nice little level of supply that I'm looking to short from. Now, you're going to hear me call this supply just because it's not necessarily the last up move before the down move, but this is still overall a POI that we'd be looking to go from. Now, after seeing this, I actually went ahead and fired off the trade. Now, I did get quoted up here, so that's the reason why the entry's from up there, but we went ahead and fired off over there. I don't think I think price came back to break even, but we didn't actually get any drawdown on this order at all. I don't believe so. Yeah, not at all. Yeah, so now let's talk about the stop loss placement and why the stop loss was so high. So I was actually very I wasn't at home. Well, I was at home, but I wasn't on my computer when I actually took this entry. So this was all based on my phone. So, you know, naturally the stop loss would be a lot better, and then you'd be able to get a better risk to reward out of it. So it'd go from a 1 to 5 to a 1 to 30. Nice. But in this case, I was actually asleep. I rolled over in my bed, saw the entry, so then everything was valid. So we chose to go in from here and keep a stop loss up here in case price does choose to come up any higher. Now, you can also actually see like a distribution within all this, but I actually chose to have a higher stop loss, so it was 23 points. Easily could have gotten away with having a stop loss down here, or perhaps even all the way over here, assuming that we're with the right direction, but that's not the case. Now, down the line, you guys will see me actually do that, but for this specific trade, that was not the case, and price just proceeded to run. Taking out lows, giving you opportunities to get in again if you wanted to. Boom. So, very interesting. Let me show you guys where I actually took out my position. So, when price came to this 26-minute order block over here, I actually alleviated 80% of my position. So, 80% of my position was collapsed all the way down here, literally at the bottom, and then price proceeded to use this as liquidity to then go to the upside. And I think we ended up finding some schematics down there. I'm not too sure. But that's the trade breakdown for the 1 to 5. So normally I would show you guys like me actually getting into the trade, but once again, I was actually asleep when this happened, so I actually like woke up, did all the math in my head for the lot size, so you guys didn't see like a live execution. I do have screenshots though, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop those up now. But other than that, I wasn't able to show live execution. This is only a 1 to 5.5. Execution could have been better, stop loss could have been tighter. But once again, I had no intentions of monitoring this trade while I was awake, so I went ahead and placed the entry. Forgot to put in a take profit. Woke up again, put in a take profit, and then that's how that works. But yeah, overall nice trade. Let me give you guys what I'm expecting going into this week. Then I'm actually going to hop off. Okay, we can get rid of this. We now understand the trade breakdown. NAS gave a lot of opportunities to go back in, to go to the upside, but it's Friday. I don't really like trading Fridays, so that's where we're currently at with price. We're going to delete all of this. Actually, let's go back a little bit. Sorry. So once again, for the future, I'm expecting to see if NAS can break this level up here. This is going to be a very important level. If NAS can get above this level, then I'm potentially expecting price to come all the way up here into that 13,593 level, so it's going to run off by a lot of points. It's going to be really good. If I'm able to get positioned in before, I'm probably just going to hold the trade and see if I can take overall profits at this level up here. But we're waiting to see if price can like close above this level here, come back down to the IMB, come up, down, come all the way up there. Hope this trade breakdown made sense. Sorry if I'm in a hurry. I actually have a lot of stuff going on the side right now, but that's everything. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out on Instagram. Let me pull that up. On Instagram or via the YouTube comments, but this is the trade breakdown right here. This is my personal Instagram page, my professional page, and then we have KOD Trade Manager over here. And this is the trade manager that I use for all of my entries, all of my parceling, and all of that stuff. Right over here. And hope everything made sense. I'm gonna go ahead and catch you guys later, but I really one of my friends mentioned that I should just post like all of my trades on the channel, so I may start doing that. I'm not too sure, but let me know. I've been getting really good feedback, and yeah, peace out.